What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ruse Reviews and welcome back to another app review. Today we're talking about Talk Tools by Martin Eisele. So let's get into this. So, as always, before I start, I should give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Brown Bear Leather Goods. Brown Bear Leather Goods are a company based out in Dubai that make, in my opinion, the best handcrafted leather personalised tools for magicians. And if you use our special discount code RUSENTME, all in block capitals, I'll place that just below here, you will be able to get 15% off your next leather order with them. Here we go, Talk Tools by Martin Eisele. This was one of those apps that came to my attention and immediately I wanted to know more about it. So, what is Talk Tools? Talk Tools is an app that emulates Siri, and it emulates it in the most amazing way possible. What Talk Tools allows you to do is have a conversation with Siri, have Siri predict things that your spectators are thinking of, and also integrate with other apps on the market like Wikitest or Vision. But it doesn't stop there. The app acts like a database. It listens for your voice and it records certain keywords or certain key phrases that you want to log in a database that can be brought up again in conversation. Let that sink in for a minute, because that is mind-blowing. So I want to get straight into a performance with this because you guys like to see one. I'm just going to perform this for you guys just so that you can see what it looks like. And what I'm going to do is perform an integration that the app has with Wikitest. So imagine this. You're having a conversation with a spectator, you're going to perform Wikitest, you start to do Wikitest, but you say, I'm not going to read your mind, I'm going to let Siri read your mind. And your conversation can go a little something like this. Hey Siri, how's it going?
Hi Rooster, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Hey Siri, I'm just in the middle of filming a review at the moment. Do you reckon you could just tell everyone at home who your favourite magician is?
You have to stop asking. You know it's you.
Alright, fair enough. Hey listen, I'm here with my friend Steve. Can you say hi to Steve for me?
Hi Steve, it's a genuine pleasure to meet you.
Amazing. Now Siri, Steve is actually thinking of something. It's a random thing. Do you reckon you could read Steve's mind?
Of course, Steve, this feels a little hazy through the screen, but I believe the connection is getting stronger.
Fair enough.
I believe I know what Steve is thinking of.
Amazing. So, Siri, for the first time, what is the random thing Steve is thinking of?
If I get this right, Rooster, you're buying me dinner.
Okay.
I believe Steve is thinking of cactus.
Cactus. Amazing. Siri, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, you genius wizard, you. And thank you, Steve. Your thoughts were very clear.
And that was Siri. Now I should say that the name Steve wasn't pre-planned. The app heard that, logged it in its database, and used it every time I needed Siri to say the name. Also, the reveal of cactus came directly from Wikitest. So, if you have Wikitest, you can combine it with this app to literally create a miracle. So, there are two modes which make this app work. You have either a Q&A mode, a question and answer mode, or a conversation mode. The Q&A mode allows for a slightly different flexibility in your conversations. It is basically a pairing of a phrase with a response. So say I said, hi Siri, how's it going? Siri would know to say, hi Rooster, I'm fine. That way you're able to have a conversation without having to stick to a predetermined script, which is what you have to do in the conversation mode. So, as I've just mentioned the conversation mode, let's get into that because that is what I just used in the performance. That was a free-flowing script, which sort of seemed like it allowed Siri to give you a free-flowing conversation. But with conversation mode, you can really allow for some cool dynamic content. Now, what I mean by this is that there are 4 commands. Those commands are listen, speak, wait, and assign. So listen basically means Siri is listening to what you're saying. You say a key phrase, a key command, Siri knows to listen after that command. So if I said, I'm here with Dan, Siri knows to listen to the name Dan and bank it in the database. Speak just means Siri speaks. It gives you a response to the question that you have just asked it. Wait. Wait is the time delay between Siri saying something or doing something. So, for example, you can go back into the performance and see this for yourself. I put a slightly longer wait time between where Siri says and where Siri says, I know what Steve is thinking of. What wait does is allow for a bit more dynamic control in your performance and you don't have to rush things. And assign. Assign basically allows you to assign a word, a phrase, to a keyword which is remembered in the database. This allows you to access some information from the Q&A, enter the name of the spectator prior a performance, access some information from another app, or access some information from a web service. Now, initially everything that I'm saying here might sound a little bit tricky and convoluted, but the instructions really are basic and take you through everything you need to know. It's one page of instructions, there's no videos because it's very easy to figure out and understand once you read it. I have no words to say, this app is going straight into my repertoire. As many of you know, I was one of the first in the UK to do Seriously Mental by Michael Pilkey. It was one of my favourite go-to effects using Siri to predict a song and play that song that a spectator was thinking of. The use of Siri and technology within Magic can be pulled either way. Some people are for it, some people are against it. But because Siri is so common on everyone's iPhones, it just becomes a cool way to reveal information. And let's face it, have some pretty funny conversations if you want to. Now, I have not once had the app fail on a voice command. I don't know why, I don't know how it hasn't failed yet, but it is really that good. I have had not one voice command go amiss when working or trying out this app. That alone gives me 100% faith that when we can go out into the real world and there's noises and sounds around you, that this app will work for you. With the instructions, even though it is pretty simple, there's a lot of stuff that you can go into the nitty gritty and it really breaks down the cool things that this app can do for you. And I've only touched the surface with this review. Really, there's so much extra stuff as well, like fast data input, stealth mode, import-export mode allows you to save conversations to your computer, to your database and have all this information prior another performance. And also, this app works with Peaksmith. So for those of you who don't know Peaksmith, it was produced by Ben K. Smith, the guy who produced CubeSmith, and it's a little peak device that really works well with apps, with other things, and it allows you to gain information just like that. I highly suggest you look into Peaksmith if you use a lot of mobile apps. As I say, there are also presets in this app for Wikitest and Vision. There's also a Vision Anycard at any number, and there's also a Q&A setup for Juan Tamarez's Mnemonica stack. So if you use that stack, you're going to have a lot of fun with this app as well. So there we go guys, there's really not much for me to say other than what I've said about this app. It is seriously phenomenal. I think the price point is about £60–65, something around that in the UK, which I don't think is too bad for an app that does the amount of things that this app does. The fact that it listens to you at certain key phrases and stocks keywords in a database that can be used and all this stuff, it kind of scares me a little bit that technology can do this, but it is phenomenal. And as I say, there have been no glitches. There are always updates. I'm part of the group on Facebook. There are always updates coming out. I think one of the latest ones is including a swipe input for playing cards, so you can do all this stuff covertly as well as openly. Totally phenomenal. Martin Eisele has made an amazing app with talk tools. So the links are below where you can find it. I 100% suggest you go and buy it if you are into your app magic. And that's it from me guys. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you very soon. Ciao.